Greetings to our listeners. Today we are going to tell about American serial killer Ed Gein. Click subscribe button to see more content like this. Ed Gein was born on August 27, 1906 in Wisconsin, USA. He was one of the two sons of the family. His mother Augusta hated her husband, a lazy alcoholic who could not keep his job. That's why she had to work hard. The family was extremely poor as the father was persistent about not working and the mother worked in low-income jobs. Later, they would move to a farm. The farm was quite far from the city. Ed would only leave it to go to school. Moving to the farm was the beginning of his isolation. Gein spent most of his time outside of school doing work on the farm. He was shy and laughed exaggeratedly at his own jokes. He would laugh randomly, and this made it very difficult for him to make friends. At the same time, whenever he tried to make a new friend, his mother Augusta punished him. This would cause him to become even more attached to his mother. Despite his poor social development, Ed was quite successful in his studies and learned to read and write before most of his classmates. On April 1, 1940, his father George died at the age of 66 due to heart failure caused by alcohol problems. The two brothers started doing some work in the town to make ends meet, and the older of the young men, who was perceived to be trustworthy by the residents of the community, was working as a mechanic. Ed frequently did babysitting. He communicated better with children than with adults, and enjoyed babysitting. His older brother Henry started living with a woman. Ed was worried about how attached he was to his mother. He knew that he would not be able to stand on his own feet. On May 1, 1944, Henry and Ed were clearing the swamp by burning some plants, but the fire got out of control. Henry was lost during the fire. The fire brigade arrived and the fire was extinguished. Then they would find Henry's dead body. There were burn marks on his body, but it would be later revealed that Henry also had bruises on his head. It means someone could have attacked him in the head. The bruises served as evidence that Henry might have been killed by his brother. But when this was revealed, Ed would already be in the mental hospital. Ed and his mother were now alone. Shortly after Henry's death, Augusta had a stroke, and Ed dedicated himself to take care of his mother. Augusta's health was getting worse. Then she had a second stroke. She died on December 29, 1945, at the age of 67. Harold Schechter, who wrote Ed Gein's bibliography, described the effect of his mother's death on Ed's psychology as follows. He had lost his true love. His mother was everything to him. He was now completely alone in the world. After his mother's death, Ed continued to work on the farm. He lived there. He hadn't changed anything in the house after his mother's death. He was living in a small room near the kitchen. He was reading magazines a lot. These magazines were about cannibalism and Nazis. After a while, the terrible period of his life started. On the morning of November 16, 1957, a woman named Bernice Worden disappeared. The police got involved in the investigation and examined her store. There was blood stain on the floor. Eyewitnesses said that Ed was the last person to enter the store. He was taken into custody in the evening of the same day. Later, the police started to investigate his home. They found Worden's body in the farm. She had been beheaded and her legs were tied. She had been killed with a rifle. As the farm was searched, more terrible details began to emerge. The things found in the farm include human bones and parts, a wastebasket made of human skin, a chair covered in human skin, beds made of skulls, human legs and skin, masks made of scalp skin, the scalp belonging to a woman named Mary Hogan, Bernice Worden's heart, a belt made from female human nipples, 4 noses, a pair of lips on a window shade drawstring, fingernails from female fingers. Police was shocked. The police were going to look for the motives behind why Ed Gein did these atrocities. Gein was interrogated. He told the police that he had removed bodies from nearby cemeteries between 1947 and 1950. He dug into the graves of middle-aged women who resembled his mother. He admitted to robbing 9 cemeteries after his mother's death. He said he wanted to furnish the house with pieces of women who looked like her. He admitted to killing Mary Hogan, who had been missing since 1954. He confessed that he killed the deceased, but refused to give the details of the death. It was proven that Ed had killed 2 people. It was also revealed that he had used the bodies stolen from the cemetery to design the objects made of human parts. Ed stood trial in November 1957. He claimed he was mentally ill. He was diagnosed with schizophrenia. It was decided that he would be transferred to a maximum security mental hospital. In 1968, Ed's doctors ruled that he could now stand trial. During the trial, Ed said he didn't remember why he killed Bernice and Hogan, that he didn't remember that day. The jurors decided that he was not mentally healthy and would stay in the mental institution for the rest of his life. It was decided that he would be admitted to a mental hospital. After Ed's imprisonment, there were long discussions about what to do with that terrible farm. The authorities were aware that the place would soon turn into a strange tourist center. A farm was later set on fire in a suspicious manner. Then, what remained of the farm was demolished. When told that his house was demolished, Ed only said exactly. He died on July 26, 1984 at the age of 77. His tombstone was stolen by thieves in 2000. A newly built tombstone was stolen again in 2001. Today there is no tombstone on Ed Gein's grave, although the location of his grave is known. His grave is next to the graves of his mother, father, and brother. Ed Gein has influenced American popular culture. The movie Psycho, that was based on the Robert Bloch book and made into a Hitchcock movie, got most of its ideas from Ed Gein's story. His life also inspired the famous horror movie series Texas Massacre. Although it has nothing to do with the character in the movie, the author attributes the emergence of the movie to Ed Gein.